Hello my dear students, welcome back to Baladrik's chemistry classes. Please like and subscribe my channel, click the bell icon for the latest updates. In this video, we are going to come across about the remaining periodic properties, that is electronegativity and electropositivity. With these two periodic properties, we are going to complete this chapter, periodic classification and periodic properties. In playlist, all these videos are available, so you can watch the videos, you can share with your friends, JEE and NEET aspirants. This chapter, periodic classification and periodic properties, is very important for all the competitive exams. By watching these videos, so you will get enough information regarding that all competitive exams, regarding all the periodic properties and classification. Now in this video, we are going to come across about what is electronegativity and what is electropositivity. What are the other periodic properties which depends on electronegativity and electropositivity also will come across in this video. By comparison, we will come across what is electronegativity and positivity, differences between them. Now listen carefully here everyone. I am going to explain what is electronegativity and what is electropositivity. Electronegativity is the tendency of gaining of electron. The element which is having more tendency to gain electron is called electronegativity simply. Tendency of gaining electrons. Tendency of gaining electrons is called electronegativity. The element which is having more ease to gain the electron, we can say that it is having more electronegativity. And tendency of losing electron. Tendency of losing electron is called electropositivity. One particular element is there, it is having more ease to accept the electron is called more electronegative element, and the element which is having more ease to lose the electron is said to be more electropositive element, and the phenomena is called electropositivity, electronegativity. So don't confuse, electronegativity is different and electron affinity is different. Similarly, electropositivity is different, ionization energy is different. They look similar, but they are not same. Electron affinity means the energy released when electron is added, but here it is just tendency of electron to accept it. Electronegativity is a bonded atom property, whereas electron affinity is an isolated property. Here also same, electropositivity, electronegativity, they are the properties of bonded atoms. When two elements forming covalent bond, in that covalent bond, which is accepting electron towards itself is called more electronegative, which is losing electron is said to be more electropositive. But here ionization energy means energy required to remove completely electron. So electron affinity, ionization energy are isolated properties, whereas electronegativity and electropositivity are bonded atom properties they are. Electron affinity, ionization energy will have absolute values and they are having units. But electronegativity and electropositivity, they are not absolute properties, they are relative properties, and they doesn't have any units. There is a major difference between this electronegativity and electron affinity. Similarly, electropositivity and ionization energy. Now you can listen here carefully. A and B, two atoms are there and they are forming one covalent bond between them. One covalent bond means two electrons. If this pair of electrons are attracted towards atom B more than this atom A, we can say that B is more electronegative than A. B is more electronegative than A. Like that, by comparison, we can say this electropositivity and electronegativity. That's why I am saying that electronegativity, electropositivity are the properties of bonded atoms and they are relative properties. Absolute values will not be there. Is it clear to you? So the tendency of gaining electron is called electronegativity, and the tendency of losing electron is called electropositivity. Now here one more point I can say that highly electronegative elements are non-metals. Highly electronegative elements are non-metals. So with increasing electronegativity, non-metallic nature increases. Highly electronegative elements are said to be non-metals. With increasing electronegativity, non-metallic nature also increases. In similar case here we can say highly electropositive elements are metals generally. Highly electropositive elements. Highly electropositive elements are metals. So with increasing electropositivity, metallic nature increases. Now here non-metals are having the nature of gaining of electrons. Gaining of electrons is called reduction. You can remember that GER, gaining of electron is reduction. When they undergoes reduction, they are said to be good oxidizing agents. The elements which undergoes reduction are said to be good oxidizing agents. So here non-metals are good oxidizing agents. Here metals are having tendency of losing electron. Loss of electron is called oxidation. LEO, you can remember, loss of electron is oxidation. Lion, and it will roar like gur. Gain of electron is reduction, means generally non-metals undergoes reduction, metals undergoes oxidation. Which undergoes reduction are said to be oxidizing agents, and which undergoes oxidation are said to be reducing agents. Reducing agents. Okay, so here metals are good reducing agents, non-metals are good oxidizing agents. So with increasing electronegativity, non-metallic nature increases, oxidizing nature increases. With increasing electropositivity, metallic nature increases, reducing nature also increases. And here one more point you have to remember, that is here we can say that non-metal oxides are acidic. Non-metal oxides are acidic in nature. So therefore with increasing electronegativity, acidic nature also increases. And here we can say that metal oxides are basic in nature. So with the increasing electropositivity, basic nature increases. Listen very carefully everyone. So come to the next slide. So with increasing electronegativity, what are increases? Non-metallic nature increases. With increasing electronegativity, non-metallic nature increases. And in addition to that, oxidizing nature increases. Okay, let me write here jointly. With increasing electronegativity, non-metallic nature and oxidizing nature, and acidic nature of oxides. Acidic nature of oxides increases. Listen very, very carefully everyone. So with increasing electronegativity, non-metallic nature and oxidizing nature and acidic nature of oxides increases. Similarly, with increasing electropositivity, okay, what are increases? Metallic nature increases, and reducing nature increases, and basic nature of oxides increases. Basic nature of oxides increases. Now already you know that down the group, in every group, down the group electropositivity increases. And electronegativity decreases. Obviously, left to right in a period, electronegativity increases. Means electropositivity, what happens? Decreases. So based on this, we can say that here highly electropositive element in the periodic table. Highly electropositive element is cesium. Cesium is a highly electropositive element, and highly electronegative element in the periodic table is fluorine. Fluorine is the highly electronegative element. So more metallic nature will be there for cesium, more non-metallic nature will be there for fluorine, and strongest reducing agent is cesium, strongest oxidizing agent is fluorine. So based on that electropositivity and electronegativity, these other properties also we can explain. So already we come across here electronegativity, non-metallic nature, oxidizing nature and acidic nature follows the same order. How that electronegativity changes in similar manner, non-metallic nature, oxidizing nature and acidic nature changes. Next, with change in electropositivity, metallic nature, reducing nature and basic nature of oxides also changes similarly. Now let me give you some examples here. Suppose they given lithium oxide is there and sodium oxide, potassium oxide, rubidium oxide and cesium oxides are given. Out of this, so they will ask you increasing basic nature order. So cesium oxide is more basic than rubidium oxide, there is more than potassium oxide, there is more than sodium oxide, there is more than lithium oxide. Okay, now if you take different oxides of non-metals, you can take all these are bases. All metal oxides are basic in nature, or non-metal oxides are acidic in nature. You can take chlorine oxide is there, and you can take sulfur dioxide is there, and you can take carbon dioxide is there. More electronegative is more acidic. All non-metal oxides are acidic in nature, and with increasing electronegativity, acidic nature increases. Like this we can say acidic nature and basic nature also. Now we can take halogens. Fluorine is more strong oxidizing agent. Oxidizing nature, if you consider oxidizing nature, you can consider fluorine is more than chlorine, chlorine is more than bromine and bromine is more than iodine. Highly electronegative element is fluorine. So its oxidizing nature will be more, non-metallic nature will be more, and here it is having highest electronegativity. So there are different scales to measure electronegativity. So electronegativity can be measured based on bond energies by using that Pauling scale, and we can also measure that electronegativity by using Mulliken scale also. I will give you the brief details how to find according to Mulliken scale, and there is another scale to measure electronegativity is called Allred-Rochow scale. By using these three scales we can measure electronegativity. Now highly electronegative elements in the periodic table are fluorine. Fluorine is having electronegativity value 4 according to Pauling scale. Oxygen 3.5. Chlorine and nitrogen are having electronegativity 3. These 4 are the highest electronegative elements in the periodic table. Here in Pauling scale we can find the electronegativity difference between two elements, that is chi A difference chi B will be is equal to 0.1017 into root delta. Delta is the bond energy difference between experimental and calculated. Mulliken scale is the average of ionization energy and electronegativity. Average of ionization energy and electronegativity of element will give you that Allred-Rochow scale. The attractions present between center of the nucleus and last electron is called electronegativity according to this Allred-Rochow scale. So electronegativity is nothing but force of attractions Q1 into Q2 by R square. Like this, electronegativity will be measured by using different scales. So that measured electronegativity will be highest for fluorine, after that oxygen, next nitrogen and chlorine. Like this electronegativity scales we can come across. So by using electronegativity, non-metallic nature, oxidizing nature, acidic nature will follow same order, and electropositivity, metallic nature and reducing nature, basic nature of oxides will follow same order. There are amphoteric oxides also. Amphoteric oxides. Amphoteric oxides means which shows both acidic and basic nature. Both acidic and basic oxides, both acidic and basic nature, if that oxide is having, it is called amphoteric, means it reacts with both acids and bases. Let me give the list of this amphoteric oxides. Beryllium oxide is amphoteric, aluminium oxide is amphoteric, zinc oxide is amphoteric, chromic oxide is amphoteric, and MnO is amphoteric, V2O5 is amphoteric, and you can come across about lead oxide and lead dioxide, tin oxide, tin dioxide. I am giving the list of amphoteric oxides, and germanium oxide, arsenic, metalloids are there, arsenic, antimony, selenium, tellurium. These elements oxides are also amphoteric in nature. They will show both acidic and basic character, or they will react with both acids and bases. If oxide is amphoteric, its hydroxide is also amphoteric. Now next one, come here, one more important relation is there, that is called diagonal relationship. What is the relationship called? Diagonal relationship. The first element of group 1 will show the similar properties of second element in the next group, is called diagonal relationship. So there are three pairs are there, diagonal pairs. Lithium is having diagonal relationship with magnesium, and beryllium is having diagonal relationship with aluminium, and here boron is having diagonal relationship with the silicon because of having same polarizing power. The elements which are having the elements which are having diagonal relationship, they will exhibit similar properties because of same polarizing power. Polarizing power is equal to, we can say that it is ionic radius by ionic charge by ionic radius whole power 2. Ionic charge by ionic radius whole power 2. By using this formula we can find polarizing power. The elements which are having similar properties, they are not same group elements, but they are showing similarities because of the same polarizing power. This property is called diagonal relationship. So we know that already there are many similarities between lithium and magnesium. Lithium carbonate will decompose, magnesium carbonate also will decompose, but other first group carbonates, they can't decompose, they are thermally stable. Aluminium carbide and beryllium carbides and hydrolysis gives methane gas, both are called methanides. Lithium nitrate on decomposition gives lithium oxide and nitrogen dioxide, oxygen. This property is similar to magnesium. Magnesium nitrate also on decomposition gives magnesium oxide, nitrogen dioxide and oxygen. Other first group nitrates will give nitrate and oxygen. Nitrogen dioxide is given by lithium. When lithium is exposed to air, when it is exposed to air, you will get a lithium oxide and lithium nitride. Magnesium also same. But other group, first group elements, they won't give nitride, they only gives oxide. Like that, there are many similarities between magnesium and lithium because of this diagonal relationship. The diagonal relationship is because of same polarizing power. Like this, all the periodic properties we can come across. So after this periodic properties, in next video we are going to start organic chemistry. Okay, stay tuned for the next classes. Please like and subscribe my channel. Click the bell icon for the latest update. Share these videos with JEE and NEET aspirants. Thank you.